What up, y'all? I'm back, baby, from E3. It is Saturday. I just got back from LA as of today, or actually as of last night. I got back about, let's say like 3 in the morning. E3 was officially Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this past week, but because I was in LA, I had to take some time on Friday to go check out Universal Studios Hollywood. Haven't done that in 18 years. I've been there. Last went there when I was 11 years old in 1999. So had to check that out for the first time since then. That was pretty fun. Anyways, I just want to do like a quick recap here of what I did at E3, my thoughts on some of the things that we got to see. A lot of you probably already know all the stuff that got announced that was new. I mean, the press conferences is all you really need to know if you want to know the new stuff. The reason to go to E3 is if you actually want to play the demos and check out maybe some of the extra gameplay stuff that you don't get to see in just the announcements and the conferences alone. So let's just I'll just give you a quick recap of like what my thoughts on the whole E3 event as a whole, in my opinion. So I got there on Tuesday. If you get there on Tuesday, meaning the first day of the show floor opening, there's two choices you have: get there super freaking early and wait at the front of the line, which ends up being like 1,000,000 miles long, or just come late and not give a shit, because if you're going to go early on the first day, you're stupid. That's all I can say. The only reason to go on the first day is to like get the layout of what you want to do, unless you're going to get there so early that you're first in line, which is never going to happen because you're not that dedicated. Don't lie, you're not that dedicated. It's just not going to happen. Like, I got there, like they opened the doors at 12. That's late as fuck, right? So people can get there hella early if they want. And, yeah. I got there, it was 11-something, and the line was already wrapped around, far down the street. Holy shit, it was long. So by the time they opened the doors at 12, we decided to not even get in line. We just waited in the shade and waited for the line to just die down. It took about 45 minutes for that to happen. It was pretty ridiculous. We grabbed our badges. Actually, we got this lanyard right here. It's got the whole Super Mario Odyssey thing, which I'll talk about in a second, and Nintendo Switch on the other side. Yeah, and then they gave us our badge. I don't want to put my badge on it because it has my name, but it's back there somewhere. Yeah. So, yeah, that was pretty much how it was. We picked up our badges outside the front place and then just waited to get in because it was ridiculous. So day one just mostly consisted of me and my friends. I went with 3 friends, by the way. Just walking around the show floor, kind of getting the lay of the land. There's 2 halls. Getting the lay of the land is really a thing you should do in any con or event you go to, especially when it's a huge event and you want to be able to check out multiple things over a few days if it's a multi-day event. So you really want to know your layout. Just know where the places you want to go are. Like, you say, okay, I know this is going to be here. Let's find out where that is. That kind of thing. It's like, where's Nintendo booth? Find it. Where's Sony booth? Find it. Where's Microsoft booth? Find it. Where's the games or whatever you want to check out? Find it. Where's the food? Where's the bathrooms? Where's the most convenient whatever? All the things. Get the layout. Best thing to do. And we did that pretty much all day Tuesday. We really didn't do anything interesting most of the day. We literally just looked around, kind of got, like I said, a lay of the land. That took long enough on its own. Then we realized there was another hall because Nintendo and Sony, we couldn't find them. We're like, okay, there is another hall. So we walked all around and found that. And by the time we did all that shit, it was already pretty late in the afternoon. Remember, we were already there past 12 before we barely got even in through the doors. So what we decided to do is we went and checked out what they were doing over in LA Live, which was like, I don't want to call them panels, because at a lot of cons they do panels where people do presentation, interact with crowds, Q&As type of thing. This was more like just kind of like the E3 conferences, but not the conferences, but like, the Treehouse conferences they do where they talk to the developer and they kind of do a gameplay demo. It was kind of like that, but without the demo stuff. It was just mostly interviews with like game developers. And the one I went to was actually Jack Black, not a game developer, the actual actor, the hilarious motherfucker from School of Rock. He was interviewing Tim Schafer, the developer of Double Fine Studios, like head developer guy who did like Psychonauts and the Brutal Legend game that Jack Black is in, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so that was a pretty hilarious presentation that I'm glad I got to catch, because It was really the only noteworthy thing I did on day one. But, yeah, day one. Kind of a wash overall, but like I said, getting the layout and figuring out what we wanted to do for day two was crucial. Because, to kick off day two, my first goal was Destiny 2. You can tell by the t-shirt that I did indeed get to play Destiny 2 at E3. We went to the Activision booth, and they were doing PvP, 4v4. I think most of the multiplayer in Destiny 2 is going to be 4v4. At least that's what it looks like for Crucible. I don't know if there'll be a bigger team playlist, at least not to start. Who knows what they'll add later. But it seems like in the beginning they're going to do 4v4, and that's what we got to try out. We got to try out one of the new game types, which is very much like Sabotage from Call of Duty, if you know what that is. There are 2 bomb spots that one team has to try and plant a bomb, and the other team has to defuse the bomb or stop the other team from doing so. And when a person dies in that round, they're dead for the round. They can be revived, but trials. But otherwise, if all 4 of your teammates die, the other team wins the round. Whether it's offense or defense, it doesn't matter. So it's very much like Sabotage from Call of Duty. It's fun. My team that I got to be on the team with, because only one of my friends actually waited in line with me for that one, but we got kind of split up in the line, so he got to go first, and I came through later. The 3 guys on my team were way too good because they wrecked the shit out of the other team. We got 0 deaths. We swept them 6-0 rounds because it was best of 5, or not best of 5. Is it called best of 5 or best of whatever? It's 11 rounds if it goes all the way, right? So if you win 6 rounds, you win. What is that called? Best of 11? I guess it's best of 5, best 6. I don't even know what you call that. I fucking forget how you call that. I guess best of 11. Best of 11, and you only play until someone gets 6 wins, and we got 6 in a row, so I didn't really get to play for that long, which was kind of disappointing, but it's a game I'm probably going to play anyways, because my friends play it. That's a big key contributor to me liking Destiny at all, is the fact that my friends play it, and we're the kind of guys who grew up playing some Halo, so we love us some Destiny. Bungie does a good job with Destiny. Content is really the only downside of Destiny, because it's supposed to be an MMO, right? Sometimes the content runs out. Well, how much do you like playing multiplayer? That's really what it comes down to. Anyway, Destiny 2 looks like it's going to be fun. I'm probably going to play it, and maybe I'll do some more stuff on this channel with Destiny at some point, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll do some streaming with it or something. We'll see. I don't want to promise anything. The point is, I got to play it. It was fun. I got the t-shirt. I didn't even complain, because to play Destiny, I had to wait in line for over 2 hours. 2-hour wait to play Destiny. Yeah. It was pretty ridiculous. 2+ hours, by the way. They did have Destiny also set up at the PS4 booth, well, the Sony booth. But they were playing the campaign, at least when we went by there the first time. I'm not sure what they were playing the second time we went through there. But they were definitely playing the campaign. I would rather play the PvP, at least for for the demo purposes, which was what I got to do. But it was fun, like I said. But the 2.5-hour wait was bullshit. It was bullshit. I have to say it's some bullshit. Not a fan of that, but if you go into E3 specifically, the lines are forever and they're ridiculous. But most of the time when the lines are that long, there's almost guaranteed to be some sort of swag they give out. In this case, it was a t-shirt. Usually if the line is that long, I didn't see any lines that long that didn't end up giving you something. Almost every long line gave you something in the end, which I guess is a perk. I mean, if you're not a developer / reporter, like the press who gets invited to E3, then being just the public fan base, which I was a part of going. I don't know. I guess it's nice to get free stuff. That's all I can say. So yeah, that's day 2. What else did we get done in day 2? I feel like that was majority of what we got done in day 2. The only other thing that was noteworthy on day 2 is that we figured out how to get the swag bags, which are just literally a bag. I think they were sponsored or whatever by Pixel Pals, which is like a, I don't know, old school art thing. I don't know, art people. They do old school art stuff. Pixel, that's what they're called, Pixel Pals. The first bag was Mega Man. That was day 1. They actually had a different bag for each day. We missed out on the bags on day 1 because we didn't know how to get one. All it turned out was you just had to wait in line when, they had every half hour they would bring out more of them and put them in this little bin, and you could just wait in line in front of the bin if you wanted, and about every half hour they would bring more, and they were trying to regulate so everybody gets one. But obviously with that system, somebody can easily just hide the one bag they already got and keep getting more. But anyways, we did end up getting the bag on day 2 and day 3. I missed the Mega Man bag on day 1. Day 2 was Super Mario Bros. 3, and on day 3 it was, one side was Batman, the other side was Joker. It was that, and they were all pixelated like Mega Man, you know, NES style. So yeah. So day 2, that was mostly what we got done on day 2. Oh, I didn't mention. I should probably mention. Well, we could talk about this on the third day as well, because I did it all 3 days. There was some competitive gaming also going on over at LA Live, which is right next to the conference center. And they were doing, on day 1 they did Street Fighter 5. On day 2 they did Tekken 7. And on day 3 they did Injustice 2. And then at the end of the day they did some Overwatch. I'll talk more about that in a second. But that was also going on. On day 1 we did go watch a lot of Street Fighter, because like I said, we didn't get a lot done. So we chilled, ate some food, watched a lot of Street Fighter, which was really the most entertaining of all the competitions that they had over there. So that was fun. We watched a very little bit of Tekken 7, but not enough to be that noteworthy. And then not a whole lot of Injustice 2 either. And then, yeah, of course, Overwatch at the end. But anyway, day 3, this is the day we need to talk about, because that was when I decided I was getting this fucking hat right here. I was getting this hat. Anybody who follows me on Twitter might have seen my my post after day 2 that I was like, I'm getting that fucking hat. And you might not know what I meant, but this is what I meant. I actually posted the picture of me wearing this on Twitter as well. So this is the hat they were giving out for Super Mario Odyssey, and that's what we need to talk about, because I'm sure, well, I don't know how many of you Nintendo fans are watching this video in particular, but Super Mario Odyssey, I am a major fan of the Super Mario games, especially the 3D ones. Mario 64 was my absolute shit when I was growing up, because, I don't know, I fucking love Mario, like a lot. Super Mario Bros. 3 is one of my top 5 games of all time, so anything Mario I'm always excited about. And Super Mario Odyssey looks like amazing. Not only does it look amazing from the trailer, I love the whole, you know, throwing the cat mechanic to take things over. That's a fantastic add-on, like new mechanic to add into a Mario game. And I also like that they're going back to the style where you have a bunch of worlds that you go to, and there's going to be a hub world. I'm pretty sure that's how it's set up, and you go to all these other worlds, like very Super Mario 64, Sunshine style, even Galaxy. That's the style I've been waiting for, man. Super Mario 3D World was good, but that's not what I was looking for. This is what I was looking for. Needless to say, because you see me wearing this hat, you know I got to play the game, because that is how you that's how you got your hands on this hat. You had to go play the demo. The problem was the line for the demo to play it on a big screen TV. There's one next to me. Was ridiculous. That line was probably at least a few hour wait if you got there early. I don't even know how long it was if you got there late and waited in the longest of lines. It was pretty absurd. But I learned on day 2, at the end of the day, we went and hung out in the Nintendo area for a few minutes, and we talked to one of the guys who was kind of regulating the lines, and he was the one doing the demos. Apparently on the sides of the main TV demos, I don't know why I quoted that, TV demos they were doing, they had these little like tables and benches set up where you can play the Switch just handheld style, or on the tables they had it set up to where it was sitting on the table and you had the controller, the two Joy-Cons in your hand, and you could play it like looking down on it like this. So the lines for those were really short. Like you could wait for an hour and play, which is way less than waiting in the line for playing it on a TV. Way less. So once I learned that on day 2, I said, I'm coming back tomorrow, I'm getting that fucking hat. And lo and behold, that was the first thing I did after we picked up our swag bag, of course, for day 3, the one with Batman and Joker on it. And then we went straight there, waited for a little bit over an hour. Even my 2 friends who probably weren't even like planning on doing that because they saw the lines, realized it was worth it, got in line with me. We all got the hat. And it actually came with a little Super Mario Odyssey pin as well. It's just the logo of Super Mario Odyssey and it's in pin. So it's pretty cool. That was worth it though, because the game was awesome. I played the desert level. For those of you who've seen the 2 levels they've demoed for this year, like for the demo this year, they showed off the desert level and like a city level. I think I just wanted to do the desert level because it seemed like you get to try out more of the mechanics there, and that was true. I got to do a lot of cool stuff. Anyway, Super Mario Odyssey will probably be the reason I buy a Switch. Not the only reason, but it's going to be the point at which I do finally buy the Switch, because I was already going to buy one. It was just a matter of when, not if. But there are other games coming for Nintendo. We'll talk about that in a second. We got to talk about the conferences a little bit here at the end. I did watch a few of them before and after the fact, just so I knew some more stuff to look for on the show floor. But let's finish talking about Day 3 before we get to that. Day 3 was much more eventful, because by the time I got this hat, it was only like 1 o'clock. So it was still early. We needed to do some more stuff, have some more fun, try to get some more swag. So we went over to the... Let's see, what did we do? I'm trying to think of the order that we did things. I guess it doesn't really matter the order. But once we got the hat, we went back over to the other hall. Oh, and we played Dragon Ball... what was it called? Dragon Ball Fighter Z. They just announced that, I believe, this year. And it basically looks like Marvel vs. Capcom with Street Fighter. I mean, Street Fighter. With Dragon Ball characters. Which is awesome, because I love Marvel vs. Capcom. It's like my favorite legit fighting game they've ever done. Smash Bros. Is my favorite fighting game, but the competitive style, I don't know. I shouldn't say that because I love Smash so much. But like, you know, the normal fighter games, the ones that are considered fighters, not the platforming fighters or whatever they call those, the actual fighter games, Marvel vs. Capcom is my favorite. And mostly just because it has a shit ton of characters and I love Marvel so much. And just even Capcom has a lot of great characters over the years. But yeah, this Dragon Ball game, my friend was really down to play it, and I got him to get in line. I'm like, dude, this is not that long of a line. So we both got in line, we got to play versus each other. There's only 6 characters to choose from. Yeah, maybe I'll show a little bit of footage of that right now, of me and him versus him. That's pretty much the only video we took while we were there. I didn't do any other video, I didn't take like any pictures. I was completely busy staring at things and not even bothering to take pictures of them. Plus, I was just tired of standing in line and didn't even think about taking pictures half the time anyways. But I did, or my friend, one of my other friends, took video of me and my friend who played Dragon Ball Z. So hopefully I'll throw that in here for a few minutes and you can check that out.
I'm not going to be able to do any of that. I did it again. L trigger? Oh, just by itself? Trigger? Not by itself. L is something. I don't know what I did, man. Let's see over here. I got confused. I don't know, I keep pressing it. Oh, is it this one? Stop it! I think it's just random because I'm not even touching the trigger. I don't know. Maybe they're not ready. Oh, is it like charged up? Shit, now I'm down to this cell, dude. Fuck. Vegeta was my best. Must be trying to do moves that I don't have powered up. Fuck. Oh, yeah, see, it is. L1 is assist. Okay. Oh.
Turning the winner.
How's it feel, Tony? Feels good.
So after we got done playing Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball Fighter Z, which you could tell was pretty fun, we went over back to the other hall that had the Sega booth, which had Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces set up, which are both the Sonic games that are currently... I think they're both going to come out this year. I'm not sure about Forces. I'm pretty sure Mania is. Mania is the one that's like a remake of all old Sonic games, like the old style from Sega Genesis days. That one I was most excited to try. Pretty awesome. For doing that, I got a poster. The line was actually like maybe a half-hour wait. And then I went over to the other side because apparently the Sonic Forces line was really short. Nobody was waiting in that line. I literally waited 10 minutes to play Sonic Forces. Got another poster for doing that. Mania was freaking awesome. I'm super excited to play that because I love Genesis Sonic. I've played all three of them on my channel, at least 1, 2, and 3. I know there's and Knuckles, which I just haven't done on my channel, but those 3 games are fucking awesome. I played them growing up. They're great. I can't wait to play Mania. It should be good. Even if it's just for the music. The music is so good. Sonic Forces also looks pretty good. If you like Sonic Generations, you will like Sonic Forces. The gameplay is almost identical. Lots of 3D areas that kind of transition into 2D areas and then back into 3D areas. Very similar to Sonic Generations. Looks pretty fun. I will probably be playing both of those games. I don't know about on this channel, but I will definitely play them. Let's see. Then after we did that, we figured out... I didn't mention this, but I was talking about those Pixel Pal swag bags, but there was also these big-ass, like, art bags that people were handing out, and there was 2 different distinct ones that we saw. There was one for Yakuza 6, and there was one for Final Fantasy Online 14, Stormblood, the new DLC for 14. So we were really like, where the fuck do you get those? Those are awesome, because they were really cool. They were really big. They had sick-ass artwork. The Yakuza one had a particularly cool Chinese dragon on it. The Final Fantasy one had some pretty cool character art stuff. So I was like, man, where do you get those? And did we just miss out? Did we miss them at the beginning and they handed them out and they don't give any more out? Well, we found out that they give them out exactly like the Pixel Pal bags. You just have to be in the right place when they're where they're handing them out. So because we were at the Sega booth, hence Yakuza, they develop, or Sega, they develop Yakuza, we found out that that's where they give out the bags. So on the last day, with a couple hours to spare, we found out where they were giving out the Yakuza bags, got probably the last wave of them, and got ourselves a Yakuza bag, which is pretty sick. So it's like a big-ass art bag. I was pretty happy about that. And once we learned that, we're like, shit. Well, if maybe that's how you get the Square bag, the Final Fantasy bag, go to the Square Enix booth, and they're probably handing them out there. So we tried to do that. But when we got there, we found out that they were all out of bags. It was disappointing because I love Final Fantasy so much. Oh well, at least I got one of those big ass swag bags, and we figured out how to do it. There was a lot of things about what we did was like too little, too late. But I'm so glad on day 3 that we went around and did so much shit. Like, I got to play Mario Odyssey, I got to play Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces, play Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I keep wanting to say Dragon Ball Z Fighter. Did I get to play anything else? I don't think I played anything else, but that was definitely a full day in terms of, because of all the waiting in line and then walking around, and we had lunch. Actually, not really, but we did sit down and eat some ice cream. But yeah, a lot more eventful day 3. Kind of wish we did a little bit more on day 2, but the Destiny 2 line thing kind of just drained me for the day. It was garbage. I'm trying to think if there was any other games I played that I want, or there was plenty of games I would have liked to have played, but sometimes just standing there watching somebody else play it is all you really need. You're like, yeah, I'd probably play that. The only reason really to get in any lines, if you really want to, is for the free swag stuff, and that's partially why I did it. Dragon Ball Z, by the way, Fighter Z didn't give us any swag. But yeah, I already mentioned the Sonic gave me posters, so yeah. So yeah, that was most of my E3 experience. I had a mostly good time other than the waiting of the lines and all the hell of people and shit, which I expected. It wasn't like I was going in thinking, oh yeah, there's not going to be nobody here. No, I knew, but still an easy thing to complain about. Because overall, the event is awesome. It's a big-ass spectacle of video gaming that anybody who loves video games would love to see at least once in their life, because it's just nice to see something you love so much be put on a stage like, damn, see, this is how you know this is a thing and it's not going anywhere. Like, people can try to say video games are a dying breed, which you don't hear that from people like us, but people try to say it in the news and shit like that. It's like, dude, video games ain't going nowhere, bro. You know how many gamers there are? The gamer community only has been growing. It hasn't been going down. You might say console gaming is trying to die. That's fine. You can try to fucking say that even. But then they go and fucking release something like the Xbox One X, which, like I said, we gotta talk about the conferences for a minute. That shit looks crazy ridiculous. 4K gaming looks absurd. And it's gonna run ridiculously well. It almost makes me want to buy an Xbox One X if there was games that I wanted to play that were only going to be on Xbox One X. That's how good it is. Like, because I have a PC capable of playing all those games, by the way, all Microsoft games are now going to be cross Xbox and PC anyways, but if they weren't, I would get an Xbox One X. Like, that's all I can say. That's how good it looks. I'm not going to sugarcoat it at all. Microsoft outdid themselves with the power and capability of the One X. And, yeah, it pretty much screwed over anybody who got a One S, in my opinion. If you got an Xbox One S, it was almost pointless. Unless you didn't have an Xbox. Then it's fine. But, like, an Xbox One. But if you had an Xbox One and you bought a One S thinking that was the upgrade, you wasted your money. I'm not going to lie to you. Sorry to say. I guess we could kind of just talk about the Microsoft conference since I'm already kind of going off on it. Overall, Microsoft announced a shit ton of games. Not just announced a shit ton of games, but like showed off a shit ton of games. In particular, everybody keeps talking about this Anthem game. Anthem looked fucking beautiful as hell. They didn't actually have that one on the show floor to demo. There wasn't a gameplay demo for it. It was just what they showed in the conference. It looks great, though. I'd love to hear more about it. We're probably not going to hear shit about it for another year, so don't get too hyped about it. But it is by the BioWare guys, which I love Dragon Age. I love Mass Effect, so anything new from those guys I will check out. And I'm sure Anthem will blow me away based on its visuals alone. But I'll probably be able to play that on PC is the thing, so I don't need an Xbox One X to play that. By the way, Xbox One X, stupid name. Stupid name. Not any worse than One S, or just Xbox One. All stupid names. So I guess I don't really have any much else to say about Microsoft's conference. Like, they just showed a lot of games, and the one that stood out to me was Anthem because it looked so great. The rest of the stuff was pretty much stuff we expected to see, more info on stuff we got last year, and just, you know, overall more of what we already expected. Not a whole lot of new stuff that I can remember. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. I don't think I actually watched the whole Microsoft conference, or the whole Sony conference for that matter. Sony's was kind of the same, lots of games, mostly stuff we've heard about before, just got more info on it. Can't think of anything in particular that we were super surprised by. I know Uncharted, the spin-off Uncharted looks interesting. I do like that British chick, she's cool. I guess they're both British, even the black girl. What else did they show that was like... they showed more God of War info. They had like a longer trailer of it. It still didn't show a whole lot more. It showed some more gameplay, though. Is there anything else in the Sony one that was particularly interesting? I did watch the whole Sony one now that I think about it, because they aired it later on Monday night, which we were awake for. Can't remember if there was anything else notable. Not really. Not for me, anyways. There was other stuff that's probably notable, but nothing for me in particular. My main thing, obviously, on Tuesday, they did the Nintendo Direct, I guess. It was like a short Direct, like 24 minutes. It was really, really short. But they did go over a couple things that I'm very excited about, but most of it is very low details, not a lot to say about it because they only showed very little. But obviously the main one I'm most excited for, I would probably say, is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Just because I love Xenoblade Chronicles 1, I'm hoping that this one's way more story-focused than Xenoblade Chronicles X. X, while a very beautiful and finely tuned gameplay of a game, did not blow me away with the story. In fact, I would say overall the story is very lackluster, especially the character development. I actually do like what the story is trying to tell and say, but I don't feel like the characters that are established in that game are well done enough for me to care enough and for me to have been blown away by the story. I think a lot of the big emotional parts in Xenoblade X were lost on me because I didn't care about the characters as much. Xenoblade Chronicles, however, one of the best games I ever played, hands down. Story was freaking amazing, twists and turns all over the place. Characters were developed very well, and it's just as beautiful, pretty much. Like, Xenoblade Chronicles on Wii was absolutely gorgeous. On the Wii. Like, what the hell? On the Wii it was gorgeous. So the new Xenoblade Chronicles 2, it looks like the gameplay is obviously going to still be good. That's not going to change. The world still looks pretty goddamn beautiful. The only thing I'm a little skeptical on is how the characters look. They look kind of like what they look like in Xenoblade X, but even more cartoony. And I'm like, I don't know how excited I am for that. I guess I'll have to wait and see what kind of translation we get when it actually comes out here, or at least when we get more details. It's supposedly comes out this year, holiday 2017. I am very, very doubtful that will actually happen, but maybe they'll surprise me and it'll actually come out on time, but I very much doubt it. Because they called it holiday, that's probably a negatory. Because unlike Mario Odyssey actually had an October release date, so that's probably around when I will get my Switch, if I can find a good bundle. I'm sure there will be a Mario bundle Switch, which will probably sell out immediately, and I won't have a chance. But maybe I'll pick it up after, with like a Black Friday deal or something. We'll see. We'll see. It all kind of depends on what I'm doing during that time when it actually comes out. The other thing that I was most excited about was they announced, and all they did was announce it, by the way, Metroid Prime 4, baby. Oh, yes. In fact, if I really had to gauge my excitement, that might be top. Because Xenoblade Chronicles 2 we already knew about, right? But Metroid Prime 4 was like a pipe dream, like maybe one day. That's in development. Sick. Now, there's no timetable. It doesn't even say next year. It says in development. So, whatever. That's fine. As long as I know that they're doing one, and it's not another freaking Federation Force game, I'm excited about it. So even if I have to wait another whole year to hear more about it, I'm excited that it exists. Awesome. Let's just move on. Metroid Prime 4 should be fucking sick. They even teased it with the awesome Metroid Prime theme music, which was so good. I'm trying to think if there was anything else from the Nintendo one that actually excited me. Most of their stuff was stuff we knew about. I mean, Breath of the Wild DLC should be good. The Breath of the Wild amiibos that they announced look pretty damn beautiful. I'm a little sad I missed the boat on the Breath of the Wild amiibos to start. Maybe I'll try to get my hands on them now, see what kind of pricing I can get, and try to get those new ones when they come out. Same kind of goes for the new Smash Bros. Ones that just still haven't released Cloud and Bayonetta. Freaking A, man. What else do I need to talk about? Is that all the Nintendo stuff? I mean, they mentioned ARMS, they mentioned Splatoon 2, which were both on the show floor of Nintendo's booth as well. They had ARMS, they had Splatoon 2, they had Pokemon DX. All three of those, there were lines for right next to Mario Odyssey. I didn't really want to play any of them, though. Not really. The lines were equally as long as the Mario line, which is pretty ridiculous. But I could wait on that. I'll just wait till I get a Switch and I'll play all those games probably. I think that's most of what they announced in the Nintendo Direct that I give a shit about at all. There might end up being more, but that's all I can really think of that I care about off the top of my head. I didn't want to make this video super long, but it looks like we're already pushing 30 minutes. I don't really have much else I need to talk about, do I? I mean, I did mention in the beginning of the video that on Friday, yesterday, I went to Universal Studios Hollywood, which is the first time I've been since I was 11. Super fun. One of my friends had never been there before, so it was good to take a friend that's never been. That was cool too. Went on most of the new ride stuff. I didn't get to go on the Harry Potter rides, but I did check out Hogsmeade a little bit. The Simpsons Land was awesome. We got to go on the ride there. Went on the new Transformers ride. Checked out the Studio Tour, which has all the new stuff like the new Kong ride and the Fast and the Furious ride. Those were cool. Watched the Waterworld show. Been there since forever. And obviously checked out Jurassic Park ride, which has also been there forever. Yeah, it's good times. It's good times. And I probably would go to Hollywood, Universal Studios Hollywood again. I'm still contemplating whether or not I would go to E3 again. See, like, as much fun as I had, it's definitely something that, looking back at it, like, was it worth your time? Yes and no. Like I said, it's a great spectacle that anyone should experience once. But is once enough? That's the real question. I think the lines is what makes it a little bit overwhelming and almost makes you not want to go again. Almost. I suppose since I live in California, it's like almost not a big deal for me. But for people that come from out of states and out of countries, it's like, why go unless you're like invited to go? You know what I mean? Like that makes more sense. Like if you're going to go on your own as a fan, coming from another country and far away states, it's like, I almost feel like that's too much. Like, why are you going to try out games you're going to play this year anyways? I don't know. I guess I shouldn't hate on anybody who does stuff like that, but I'm just trying to point out, like, it's an interesting thing, like, to go more than one time to something like E3. Now, PAX is a whole other thing. That's for gaming to play games. But E3 is about new games that aren't even out yet, demoing them. That's a whole other thing, right? And, yeah. Like, and there's barely even any indie games or anything like that, so that's why the lines are so long, because you know you're playing AAA titles. So, I don't know. I'm still contemplating it. I think because of how many people were there, I expect them to keep E3 open to the public, at least for next year for sure. I don't know what's going to make them change their mind again if they ever do. But it certainly seems like they sold a shit ton of tickets. I know they sold out, and the tickets ended up going for like $1,000 in the last minute because people really wanted the public ticket, and that was ridiculous. I paid $250 for mine, and that was expensive enough, right? So, to wrap up this video, I'm not sure really what else to talk about other than to say I'm back, and LPs should be coming back and getting back to normal as of Monday. After this video, I do have a couple videos that I did happen to record before I left that I just didn't have time to edit and didn't feel like posting after I posted my goodbye video thing from last week. So you might see a couple videos before then, but tomorrow should be the first time I have some extra time to record finally. I shouldn't say extra time, I should have plenty of time to record tomorrow. So I can get all my LPs back on track, meaning Breath of Fire, Legend of Dragoon, get right back into both of those. And of course, I finished up Jak 2 before I left, so we got a new LP that we need to start, which I've already had ready to go for a while now, and it's finally time to start it. If there's anything else you guys want to talk about in the comment section of this video, I highly recommend it. Like, questions you have about E3 or anything I did or any other comments you want me to have or you have on the matter, all of that is welcome. Let's start a discussion. I like talking about games. Anything that I didn't mention about anything from E3 that got announced that you might want my opinion on, that's cool. Let's talk about it. I'm cool with that. If you don't want to do it in this comment section here, we can do that over on Twitter too. I'm going to go ahead and just shout out my Twitter now because I did try to post some stuff while I was gone. in terms of like not stuff, but you know, I try to tweet out what I did each day. I'll just say that I didn't do a very good job, but I do have a Twitter now for those of you who don't care, might care about such things. I mostly just announce streams on it, but I'm trying to become a Twitter whore a little bit, but I'm not very good at it, but we'll see. The point is, follow me over there. We can talk about stuff over there if you want as well. Comments here is fine. Either way, just wanted to push my Twitter out there more. I gotta shamelessly self-promote myself a little bit more. That's what I've learned. Even if just a little bit. Even if just a little bit. Like, follow me on Twitch because I stream there. That kind of thing. Yeah, all those links are on my channel if you want to find them. Just go to my channel page. I'm not going to post them in this video probably, because I forget to do those types of things most of the time. Anyway, let's stop talking about me, and let's talk about next time, on the next video you're going to watch, which is after I say goodbye, which is right now. So, I'll see you guys later. Peace. That was a terrible outro.